another year in the NBA. How you feeling as you approach it?
Like I approach all of them with a chip on my shoulder. Excited to have the privilege and opportunity to be in the NBA. This is year 14, which is kind of crazy to think about. My journey to get here, journey to stay here, journey to remain here, everything. But through God's graces and some hard work, we're still here, and I'm thankful. And every day just ready to work.
But does anything, I know last year when you signed or re-signed, you talked a lot about staying in game shape, being ready to come in when you did in December. Anything different to get ready for 82 plus another 20 in terms of what you did this offseason or how you took care of yourself?
I'm always ready for that. I've got a great trainer, great friend, life coach in Aaron Monfrey. My sister, Angela Rodriguez, we push each other every single day. I've been working a lot with Coach Sid to get myself ready, Coach Blaine to get myself ready. And just, again, this is year 14 in the NBA. Been playing basketball before I can remember, so you kind of pick up some things along the way. But, at this point right now, and most points in life, it's about the mental part and how you stay engaged, how do you stay mentally prepared, how do you stay a step ahead. That's just what I've been doing.
How different just was this offseason for you? Like, obviously they brought you back a lot sooner. You knew you were going to be playing a lot sooner than last year. Did that give you any peace of mind? Any kind of, I don't know, how did that go down for you?
Not really. I'm still angry. I'm still angry. That's just how I am. That's who I am. I'm not an angry person, but that edge, that fire, that fight, that tenacity, I have expectations of myself, and I have expectations and I have ambitions and goals of myself, and that's to be the hardest worker. That's to continue to get better, continue to grow and learn as a person, individual, man, father, basketball player. And for me, it's just I'm excited again. Like, I didn't have to go through the what ifs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the peace of mind as far as that aspect, but you still never know what to expect. You can be signed to a team and, we know how the league works. So nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is given. Everything is earned. And the only way to go is through. So that's just always been my mentality. But yeah, I'm grateful to not have to be wondering, at least for the first 2 months, if I'm going to be on a roster.
Do you still feel like you can perform in your maybe age 36 season the way you did last year, the way you ended last year?
I'm going to be better. That's point blank. I'm going to be better. That's my mission. That's my goal. I've had a couple years where, when I was with the Lakers, it was a little inconsistent, and I'm not blaming anybody, anything, just life just is what it is. It was inconsistent over there for me. My play was inconsistent from time to time. I got over here, obviously never experienced anything like that before, having not been on a team until 2 months into the season, getting thrown into the fire. I feel like I responded great, but I also feel that I could be better. And there was inconsistency, up and downs, and but that's to be expected. But for me, how I hold myself, the accountability I hold myself to, I'm not very good at giving myself much grace. So my aim is to be better. My aim is to be who I was in Portland. Just point blank period. I want to be that guy, and I know I can be that guy given opportunity, and whatever it comes. But doing whatever I can to the best of my ability, putting the time in afterwards, putting the time in before, and then the chips fall where they fall.
How do you sort of kind of grow on that, being in the role that you are on this team? You're going to be on the best offensive players that way, and then also trying to know you're going to get open shots. How do you merge those 15 and try to be the guy in Portland and then be the guy over here, the role you had last year?
Believe it. Believe it. I've done a lot in this league. I've accomplished a lot in this league. So to know that that's within me, to know that that is who I am, and not what I was, but to know that that's who I am and who I can be, and just go out there and do it. Put the work in and do it. Show up every night, regardless of the situation, regardless of the outcome, and be Wesley.
I'm not going to pretend to know what Bud's plan is for you, what discussions you've had or anything, but last year you're playing like 20-ish minutes primarily off the bench, and then when it came playoff time, it was like, all right, Wes, you're gonna start every night, you're gonna play 35, like that. Is that something that's okay with you? Like, I don't want to call it like a management plan, but like they want to make sure they get the best out of you at that time.
You can get the best out of me starting game one, starting preseason game one. That's how my mentality is. That's how my body is. That's where my mindset is. So I can't control what he thinks, what he wants to do. You know, that's not up to me. I can't control that, so I can't lose sleep over that. But I'm ready to go starting Saturday.
I know you probably know the answer since you said you don't really give yourself grace, but when you look back at last year, you mentioned the consistency or inconsistencies. Did COVID, I mean, I think you had the shoulder or the collarbone jam. I mean, there's injury and then there's coming back from an illness or like a respiratory, like did any of that, you look back at that as maybe why?
My grandmother dying.
Right.
Yeah,
Personal stuff either.
that's life.
Yeah.
You know, it's life. But you roll with it. You learn from it. I talk to God every night, every morning. I talk to my grandmother every night, every morning, oftentimes throughout the day. And I feel their strength. And so I got to do it. That's how she raised me to be. That's how my family raised me to be. That's how my daughter sees me. So that's who I am. And regardless of whatever gets thrown my way, I'm a soldier.
This time of year, we tend to talk about like, oh, what does this new guy bring or that new guy bring? But like in 30 years in the league, I don't know if I've had 16 players return. Like, do y'all get sick of each other? Like, you've already been through all of it like last year. Like, you already know each other's jokes. Like, where are you gonna be? Like all that stuff. Or like, how does this feel in camp? Knowing everyone and having everyone back, essentially everyone for a second season.
Right. I mean, it's new for me too. I can't. Yeah. It's awesome though, honestly, because it's such a good group of guys. Think about this organization. They put together high character guys that want to win, that are competitive, and the more the merrier. You know, and competition breeds greatness. You know, iron sharpens iron. You know, practice up there was great. People were talking. People were getting after it. People were being physical. People were being aggressive, but no one was trying to hurt each other. No one was trying to do any of that. Everybody's uplifting each other. Everybody just wants to compete. You know, we know the opportunity that we had last year, and, you know, Boston beat us. It is what it is. No excuses, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Boston beat us. And so we all got to be better. You return 16 players in the same team from last year, then those 16 players better have gotten better. And unless you were the last team standing, which we weren't. So that's our mentality. Yeah, I'm especially sick of Chris, but I think everybody is. But no, we all love each other, and it's all fun. I mean, hell, we all pick our kids up at the same time, you know, so it's a big family.
Have you already mapped out a game plan of how you're going to pass the time in such a long flight to Abu Dhabi?
Cards, a whole lot of it.
16 hours of cards?
I got it in me.
When we saw you at the, I think, exit interviews, I did ask, I was curious if you wanted to keep playing, and you quickly were like, yes. George, I don't know if you heard the other day, said he thought about retirement this offseason with what he kind of went through physically. And he was like, I didn't want to kind of go out that way. I was just curious, now looking back, what did you see in him as he tried to fight through that last year? And then maybe the understanding of, you know, being that many years in the league and wanting to go out sort of on your own terms, or at least, you know, give back to the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because, you know, as you get older, everybody on the outside wants to tell you that you're old. Everybody on the outside wants to tell you that you can't do all this, you can't do that. You may not be this guy, you may not be that guy. And my mentality is, y'all can go to hell. You know what I mean? Like, I train how I train. I train like just like an 18-year-old, just like a 19-year-old. You know, like you stated, I went from whatever minutes to, hey, you got Jason Tatum. How old is Jason Tatum? Okay, they had no problem putting a 35-year-old on a 24-year-old when it mattered. So, you know, don't call me old now. So I understand where George is going with that. Like, we're competitors, and if our body can go, our body can go, and no one knows our body better than us. So I commend George for trying to play through all that, and it's a stigma that you have to fight through, and it's tough. it definitely weighs on you at times, but that's when you got to lean on your family, lean on your friends, lean on your faith, and most importantly, look inward and just know, like, everybody that's on the outside, they're on the outside for a reason. So, I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that he's got that peace, inner peace about him, and he's been looking great in camp.
Speaking of one of the younger dudes, just what have you seen from Marshawn thus far?
I mean, he's talented. He's got a lot of raw potential, a lot of skill. He's smart. He's open to learning. He wants to learn, and he just plays. He's one of those guys that just naturally, like, how did he end up with the ball? How did you make that play? Just some of the things that he has that, some of that you can't quite teach ability, which is awesome. And I see a lot of upside, a lot of promise, and he's going to help us out tremendously this year.
You see, I think, what is he, a 7? They said it was like a 7-foot wingspan.
Something like that.
Like, is that something that you kind of notice when a guy's 6'7", but then those arms?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell that just these few days here working out.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because 14 years you see a lot of 7-foot wingspan. But yeah, he's definitely one of those guys where I don't know if he necessarily understands the kind of ground that he can cover yet, and that's for us to teach him. That's for us to show him, and he's going to have to see that in game situations. He's going to have to go through that, and he will. And I've had a conversation with him where it's like, anything that he's going through, he's never going to be alone with it. Like, he can always come to anybody. And sometimes we may see it before he even wants to come to somebody about it, So it's like a village raising his son. You know what I mean? Like, he's got some special to him. So and we all see it, and we're all excited for him to be here and to help in any way we can.